Welcome to the video lesson for writing poetry. Today we're going to talk about using a poet's eyes. Using a poet's eyes to see the world around us and how that will influence the way we write poetry. First, I have a little poem for you titled, Why Poetry? Why poetry? Why? Why sunsets? Why trees? Why birds? Why seas? Why you? Why me? Why friends? Why families? Why laugh? Why cry? Why hello? Why goodbye? Why poetry? That's why. It's a good question. Why poetry? Another question for you. What is this? Oh yeah, it's a pencil sharpener. It's got a few holes. It sharpens a pencil. Yeah, that's pretty much what it does. Plus some shavings down there. Yeah, that's all it really does, huh? It's just a pencil sharpener. But what if I were to ask you to look at this pencil sharpener right here through a poet's eyes? Good question. Let's ask Zoe. I think there are 100 bees inside the pencil sharpener, and they buzz and buzz and buzz until my point is sharp. Wow, that's pretty cool. Zoe decided that this boring little pencil sharpener was something more. It was a home for bees. Buzz, sharpening pencils. Are there bees in there? I don't know. But if you use a poet's eyes, they might be. When I read that poem, it shocked me. I thought it was just a boring old pencil sharpener, but Zoe looked at it through a poet's eyes and saw a house for bees. She saw something more by looking at it in a different light. Now, before we go any further in this video, I'm gonna ask you to get a few items. When I'm done talking, I'll give you the cue to pause your video and go get them. What I need you to get is first, a pen. A pen or a pencil. Either one. I'd prefer it to be something that feels special to write with. I like writing with pens because they have that feel of permanence that you need to put it down, but then also you can leave it there and you come back and write something new. So, pen. Your composition notebook. A spoon. Regular old spoon. Spoon. A pair of scissors. Just a regular pair of scissors. Pair of scissors. And a fruit. Any fruit. In this case, I grabbed an apple because I'm a teacher. Get it? Apple joke. Right now, pause the video. Pause it. And go get those materials and then come back and press play. Welcome back. Now you got all the items. Let's have a few conversations. We're gonna start by discussing our poetry verbally, and then we're gonna end by writing a poem together. We're gonna end this lesson by writing a poem. There will be no follow-up in this lesson because you're gonna do the work right now. A spoon. This is a regular old spoon. Can it bend? I don't know. Are you in the Matrix? I'm not sure. This spoon, what does it do? You eat with it, stir some coffee with it, put it in the silverware drawer, rinse it, put it in the sink, dishwash it. But what else do you see here? What do you see? Yeah, I can totally see. It's a person with a head and a body, had some arms. Bing. Ooh, look at that. What is that? Maybe it's a comet. A comet with the tail. What else do we see? What else do we see? What else do we see? It kind of looks like an alligator who the water is right here and the alligator's head is popping above the water and the body is under the water. This spoon could be anything you want it to be if you look at it as something more than just a spoon. It's more than just an utensil. It's material for a story. What about scissors? What do they do? Well, I take them out and I cut things. Cut some paper with it. Maybe I got some string. Cut a little piece of string off. Maybe I need to trim a plant. Trim. You know, there's a lot of things you can do to trim and cut with scissors. But can it be more? Can it be more than just a resource in the classroom or a home? Could it be an alligator again? Could it be, I don't know, look at this. Maybe it is like a person. Look at those eyes. Look at the eyes. There's the nose right here. Like that. These scissors can be anything you want them to be. What do you see in the scissors? Anything. Through a poet's eyes, these scissors are more than just scissors. They're material for a story. Hey, now that we've explored a spoon and some scissors, let's look at some fruit. Composition notebook, pen or pencil. Got them both. I'm first gonna write in my composition notebook the name of the work. So on the top of the page, we're gonna write writing poetry. Gonna write the date. 5/12/20, and write the page number. I am at page 124. 124. It's ready now. Now let's take a look at this fruit. I'm using an apple. Okay, an apple. I'm gonna use the name of this fruit as the title to my poem. So, gonna write apple. Apple. I want you to write, if you need to pause the video, do it right now. Pause the video, write the name of your fruit at the top of your page. Awesome. You got it? Perfect. Next, I want you to explore some of our describing words. Let's just toss it out there. What do you see? In this, I see red, yellow, brown. It's shiny, hard, it's crispy. Let's write some of those words down. Hard, shiny, crispy, red, yellow, brown. Now I'm looking at this fruit, and in the beginning, this apple was just kind of an apple. And then I took a bite out of it, and it's not a surprise that I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but this kind of looks like the Death Star to me right now, right? It's got that like circly thing in the top part of it where the big laser shoots out of. And it's a Death Star apple, an apple Death Star. An edible Death Star. I mean, is there anything else that I see in there now? Apple, hard, shiny, crispy. Red, yellow, brown. An edible Death Star. If I'm thinking about Star Wars and an apple, could Star Wars and an apple go together? Do fruit and Star Wars go together? Does being a Jedi mean that you're healthy? An apple a day keeps the Sith Lord away. An apple a day keeps the Sith Lord away. I just wrote a poem. Apple, hard, shiny, crispy. Red, yellow, brown. An edible Death Star. An apple a day keeps the Sith Lord away. Done. I just wrote a poem about an apple. Now what I want you to do is grab your fruit. Okay? Grab your fruit, hold it up. Grab it, hold it up, look at it. Go ahead, write down some of those describing words right now. Pause your video. All right, did you pause your video? Or maybe you just sat there and looked at me because I was silent. Either way, write the describing words. Then take a bite out of it, bend it, shake it, smell it. Is there something that stands out to you about the fruit? Does it smell pungent? Does it feel soft when you eat it? Is it juicy? Maybe your describing words start your poem by saying juicy, orange, soft. Sounds like I'm describing an orange, huh? Choose your describing words. Open your poem with some describing words. Pause the video here, write those describing words completely down. Awesome. Now, take a look at your fruit through a poet's eyes. You described what we see. Now go a little bit deeper. Maybe literally go deeper and bite into your fruit. Or take your fruit and compare it to something. Maybe Kylo Ren and an apple? No, that's the wrong series. Hold on. Darth Vader. Kylo Ren doesn't get to do with the Death Star. Darth Vader and an apple. I put these two together and the apple becomes something different. It becomes something I knew, which is the Death Star, a story that someone else has told, and something I'm eating, an apple, and I combined them, and I just told you a weird story about an apple. But now you're gonna forever think about a Death Star and an apple. Pause your video here, and I want you to look at your fruit. Look at your fruit and find a connection to something that you've watched, that you read, that's around you, to the fruit. Pause it right here and write it down. Awesome. All right. What'd you come up with? Hard, shiny, crispy. Red, yellow, brown. An edible Death Star. An apple a day keeps the Sith Lord away. By now, you should have written your own poem. Guess what? If you want to read a poem at our poetry reading on Friday, you have your own poem. Do it. Be exciting to read your own poem and share with us a really cool story about a fruit and its connection to the world around us using a poet's eyes. So don't forget, when looking at the world around you, sometimes it takes a poet's eyes to see things a little bit differently. You can have a regular old pencil sharpener, or you can have a home for bees that sharpen pencils with their fast wings. Brrrr. You choose how you want to see the world and how you want to describe it. Thank you for joining this video lesson on writing poetry. By now, your follow-up should be completed, and you can check it off your work plan.